Gratitude and greeting. What's up, Pack Light? You must ain't got my text. I texted you a month ago and you never responded to my damn text. How are y'all doing? Greetings, Life as Lachey, Shan, Veronica, Levi, Mary J. Mary J. What's up, Sean Edwards? Hey, Kenyatta. What up, QT for short? Cause period. Utopia, how y'all doing? I'm gonna play something for y'all real quick. This shit like this been popping up. I'm gonna just play it real quick before we get into what we're talking about, because I don't even know what we're talking about.
A clue spirit sports fan. So somebody who's in despair is someone who's really
I've been watching several and it's all the same.
Okay, football maybe, I don't know. Who's in despair, spirit? Someone who's busty and lusty. That's for some of you, not all y'all. Okay, or you're busty, flipping where you need to go. We have homebody, someone here who's staying inside a lot. Maybe this is someone here who's in despair over a home, the ownership of a home. Okay, maybe someone thought they were all these games they were playing, they were gonna get away with something, but they're not. So this is giving like a lot of effort made and not a lot of gain. Why do you have despair?
What's up, got it?
This person could have Sumerian, or they could have moles that's in despair, whoever this person is.
Hennessy.
Ooh, it's 111 on the clock. Yeah, someone here is real emotional at this time. Me, myself, and I, that's all I got in the end. Holy Spirit, Holy Angels, tell me more. Yeah, for some of y'all, you could live in an urban area, or this person does. Someone here could be of Asian consent. Okay, someone here could be of Asian descent. This could be you or someone else. Maybe someone here didn't give someone
You
consent.
like Linda? Yeah, this is Linda Likes Tarot. She been popping up for a few days on my shit.
I don't know if you heard that loud ass airplane.
What's his name? Tarot Kev.
Someone didn't give someone consent or something.
Let me tell you who the other person is. I think his name is Kev something. They've been popping up on my shit, and all of their messages have been the same, which is such a huge validation. But let's see, what is his name? Intuitive Kev is his name. And then all of a sudden last night, some other chick popped up. Her message was the same. Mystic 9. All of her messages were the same that I started watching. And it's just validations for me on some things that are going on. I have a session coming up in about an hour and a half. But I want to come on. What's up, Chazzy? Wanted to come on and just chop it up with my people real quick. I have made 2 different little videos, but I only posted one on TikTok. So I'm gonna play it. Hi, Tonaya. So let me play it real quick. And we can discuss it.
Hey, so real quick, I got a question. First of all, I don't know why this looks like a man, but question. So if your Jesus
Gratitude,
is the
Mary.
Son of God, but they keep saying God is your Father, God our Father, but then they tell you that Jesus is the Father. But then they said that God came down and put himself inside of a physical body, becoming Jesus. So is God your granddaddy? If Jesus is your father, but then they the same person or the same energy or being. So is that your godfather?
Is it your godfather? Is that what it is? So I may do some readings after my next session, but I really wanted to come on because we haven't done a Bible study in a very long time. Um, this is your granddaddy. This was the other one.
King Herod.
I didn't post this one.
King Herod was looking to quote unquote kill Jesus because he thought that Jesus was going to take over
Greetings,
and
Elizabeth.
overthrow his kingdom and his palace. See, I'm looking back at some of my Bible study or whatever because I really want to do a Bible study, but I got stuff I'm doing. But anyway, so he thought that Jesus was going to overthrow his kingdom and his palace.
I can do a live one.
And so he was looking to kill him from the time he was a baby up until he was older, until the Pharisees and stuff had found him and paid Judas, which is never mind, to kill him. And so but Jesus had been a traveler, just quote unquote spreading the word and the good news, doing his magic his own way, was not even thinking about King Herod. So King Herod was feeling like Jesus was a threat because of what? Because he had not even thought about overthrowing his kingdom nor palace. Didn't even want to stay in the house as far as what the book is looking like, because he didn't even, like, he was a wandering traveler. I thought that's what they had said. But then King Herod was still looking to kill him. Although the Magi had came, and remember, the Magi means the magical one, the sorcerer. So if Jesus was, the Magi came to Herod and said, hey, where is that one that's supposed to, overthrow your kingdom? But then was the sorcerer, was he pissed because he thought that Jesus was going to overthrow? I don't know. There's some questions I need to get into.
So the Magi came to see King Herod because he wanted to know, and I assume King Herod sent for the Magi. We don't know the Magi's name. We don't know if that's Merlin or not. But he was talking to King Herod like, hey, you know that motherfucker coming that's supposed to overthrow your kingdom. So Herod had been looking for the so-called Jesus since he was a so-called baby to kill him. My question is this: did King Herod go to hell? He killed a lot of folks, a lot of children. King Herod killed a lot of babies. Looking for one. Why didn't nobody kill King Herod? If y'all was scared he was going to come and kill y'all children, nobody took him out. So did he go to hell? Nobody was specific if King Herod. And then on top of that, you see how they was trying to play with the word and say the Magi, and didn't want to tell you that there was a sorcerer, but they told you that sorcerers, one, don't exist, and two, that they was devils. What? That's what they told you. The sorcery was fucked up, but they used it because they called him a Magi. They tried to make it seem like that. Oh, that one ain't so bad. He was assisting King Herod. You don't even know. They told you, oh, he had to look for the Jesus character so he can kill him because he knew he would overthrow. So he didn't know who it was. How did he know? It was 3 stars, a North Star, and 3 kings had came and told. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, was there somebody that came to King Herod in the sleep, like the Virgin Mary, and told him, look here, you better look out. Look out. Watch out. someone is coming to overthrow your kingdom. Look, was he off the juice? Was King Herod off the juice? And that is why he thought that he had to stop the child in mid-birth? Did he not know, before the child came? Because he could have just went and took Mary out if that was the case. When did King Herod find this out? He was off the shrooms. The book is so full of inconsistencies. I mean, Lisa Ann, when did King Herod find this out? Now, if you believe what the allegory says to you and says that the Jesus character was a wandering man and was just out there doing his own good works, why did he think he was going to overthrow his kingdom? And what did that mean? It didn't seem like he could have wanted to. It seemed like he was just strolling the fuck about. He was gathering his own. He was making a gang. His disciples, that's a gang. Stop. If he was a nigga today, he would have a gang. 12 of them, that's a gang. He was developing his own gang as he strode along the seas. Now, he was going from place to place. How long do you think it would take to walk from Jerusalem to Nazareth, or Nazareth to Jerusalem? How long, how far of a stretch that is? Let's look that up. I'm going to Google that. How far from Nazareth? Am I spelling it right? Nazareth. That's where to Bethlehem. Oh, how far from Nazareth to Bethlehem? Well, let's look that up. How far from Nazareth to Judah? Oh, they already know what I'm asking. How far from Nazareth to Jerusalem? See, they want to know. An hour and 30 minutes. That is by car. How far did Jesus walk from Nazareth to Jerusalem? 91 miles. Walking between Nazareth and Galilee and Jerusalem would take about 30 hours at least. The distance Jesus covered was about 148 kilometers, 91 miles. Jesus would have definitely stopped to rest overnight. That's what it say. To rest overnight on the way. Why did he need to rest? He was the incarnation of God. Had he not been 33 yet, he had not hit the 33rd degree of needing to become God. He has not been ascended into the dove of God yet. Is that what that is? Because he could have just and floated over. He walked on water. Could he not float guided over to Jerusalem? That's interesting. He said he would have had to stop to rest overnight on the way. Today, you can drive between the two cities in about 2.5 hours. Understood. If they had an animal, he didn't want to take a camel. He could have ridden a camel. It might have been a shorter period. Camels might have been a little slower than he walked. Jesus might have had that crackhead walk. We don't know. We don't know. Yes, ma'am, Miss Lanaya Walker, I did. So anyway, it doesn't seem like he was worried about overthrowing King Herod's kingdom. Greetings. Lish, I'm being serious. Stop, Lish. Like, they had donkeys, bae. They had donkeys. Why didn't the Jesus take a donkey? He could have trotted like Tonto over to Jerusalem? Was he not in a rush till he was saving souls? Maybe he had to sit by a campfire that night. Gratitude, Mama. Maybe he just was going to sit by a campfire. I don't know. I don't want to get stuck on this point. But all I'm saying is he didn't seem like he was that concerned about overtaking King Herod's, reason why he needed to go and slaughter a slew of children. They never even gave you the names of the children. Were they not concerned? Why didn't they give us the names of the children? Did they pray for these children? Where's these children's bodies at? Where did they have a sacred burial for them? Did they eat them and consume them? What happened to the children? And what happened to the parents? Were the parents not upset? I would have been upset. King Herod just snatching your children, just annihilating the fuck out of your children in hopes that he catch the right one. Question, when did King Herod realize he didn't get the right child? Listen to me. I'm gonna pull you closer. King Herod slaughtered. Let's Google how many children did he kill. How many children did King Herod kill? Y'all ain't gonna believe this. Y'all ain't gonna believe this. And y'all ain't gonna believe this. How many children? Don't Google it, damn it. Don't Google it. Was he looking for all of the deities coming up? Because he slaughtered 144,000. 144,000. So he was looking for. See what I'm saying? He slewed it. He flew out. Herod, the king of Judea, watches as his soldiers slaughter the innocent. He didn't even kill a motherfucker. Mo 3 said, do your own work. That's what Mo 3 said. He said, do your own work. But he hired these motherfuckers to do them. I can't kill them. But I'm gonna need y'all to go and slaughter a few of these motherfuckers. We need to figure out which one it is. Okay. And it says, slaughter the innocent children of Bethlehem in attempt to kill the infant Jesus, whom Herod feared would eventually seize his kingdom. According to Baracchio, 144,000 children were murdered. Need you to make that make sense. I'm not going to Google it. Can somebody else Google it for me? How many people is in Bethlehem? I wonder, just right now, we're going to look the number for right now. You can Google and see how many people was in Bethlehem at the time of the Christ BC. But let's see, 144,000 children. That's what they want you to believe? They want you to believe that he slewed 144,000 children. But the chosen, let me see how many times 144,000 appears in the Bible. So It says, yes, Revelation is full of symbolism, but the number is specifically mentioned 3 times in Revelation. 4 if you count the fact that 12,000 are taken from 12 tribes, equaling 144,000 in chapter 7. That specific number is also contrasted with another group in chapter 7, which no man could number. Okay, let's see what y'all put. 29,000 people right now. Stop playing. Stop. 79,000 as of 2024, 76,000. But Bethlehem population now is more than 30,000. As of 2024, it says 75,000. So do you think that there were more or less people in Bethlehem at the time of this fictitious allegory was written or spoken about? He slaughtered more children than there was. But in JC time, it says 300. I'm about to choke you the fuck out. Only 300. Let's do the math on that. Oh, let me look at this again. Just in case you want the Revelation 7, Revelation 14, and it's mentioned 144,000 is mentioned there. In the passage, the number 144,000 is mentioned in the context of sealing God's servants on their foreheads. In the verse, 144,000 are referred to as virgins. The whole of Bethlehem plus Jerusalem plus Nazareth. And he still is like, I heard a deep voice. He said what? He kind of looked, that too. I made some soup. It was so good. You say they fibbing all the way there to hell cells. Girl, they had to go and have more children just for him to kill some more. Said virgins. Wait, so there were children coming from virgins? Listen, they didn't think this through. They didn't think Watita would get in this. They didn't think that. This tell you how they think we think. They think we gonna just believe, and people did. People just believed it all. Okay. So that's how many that is. So let's do the math. Let's see. So listen, when you divide, you can't even divide. You are missing a lot of principal numbers. Okay? Okay. There were no birth certificates, and it ain't. So then you had John the Baptist. John the Baptist, he is also a Jesus character, if you didn't know. He's one of the many Jesus characters, as well as Melchizedek. But okay. So then you have And anybody that wants to, bring your Bible up if you feel in a different way, I don't want to make you feel what I feel. I'm just having a discussion about how I see things. Okay? If you have your Bible and you want to come up and bring your point, I'll let you bring your point. I'll let you speak and get your point out. And then I'm going to show you where your point cannot be corrected. And I still want you to believe what you believe. But I'm just saying, that's what's going to happen. Okay. Greetings, grateful. So now, John the Baptist, he was, let's Google. Who was John the Baptist? John the Baptist was a Jewish preacher active in the area of the Jordan River in the early 1st century AD, after death. AD is after death. Whose death? John the Baptist, 1st century BC through AD 30, was a Jewish preacher active in the area of the Jordan River in the early 1st century AD. He is also known as Saint John the Forerunner. Okay. In Eastern Orthodoxy and Oriental Orthodoxy, John the Immerser. Okay, we're going to skip all of his different names. I just told you who he was, but okay. Let's see. John is mentioned by the Roman Jewish historian Josephus, and he is revered as a major religious figure in Christianity, Islam, and the Baha'i faith, the Druze faith, and the Judaism, and the latter, in which he is considered to be the final and most vital prophet. So he's a prophet and the most vital one. You say, what does the BC mean? Before Christ, and then AD is after Christ's death. Okay? So he is the most vital prophet. And your Jesus is what? He is considered to be a prophet of God by all of the aforementioned faiths, and is honored as a saint in many Christian denominations. According to the New Testament, John anticipated a messianic figure greater than himself in the Gospels. He is portrayed as the precursor or forerunner of Jesus. Let's stop right now. Let's look at the words that are being used. He is the precursor or the forerunner. Let's Google, shall we? La da dee, la da da, ha ha hee, ha ha ha. Definition of precursor: a person or thing that comes before another of the same kind. A forerunner. Let's look up forerunner. A person, forerunner, a person or thing that precedes the coming or development of someone or something else. A sign or warning of something to come. Gotcha. All right. So that is who John the Baptist is. He is the precursor. Okay. So, greater than himself in the gospel, he is portrayed. Should we look up the word portrayed? Let's look up portrayed. You got to have all of what you need. Definition of portrayed. To portray, to depict in a work of art or literature. Okay. So, in a work of art or literature, John the Baptist is seen as a forerunner or precursor to the character of Jesus, in which he mimics. He is almost the same. So, to let you know that there's going to be a greater me coming, I am the precursor. Now, you cannot forget that John the Baptist is also the one who was the chick that the Jezebel that ordered his head. Okay, hold on. Because he was also crucified then, wasn't he? Well, let's look at it. Let's just go on through. According to the Gospel of Matthew, Jesus himself identifies John as Elijah, who is to come. I'll read it again. According to the Gospel of Matthew, Jesus himself identifies John as Elijah, who is to come. So he's already the precursor to Jesus, and then Jesus comes and says, watch out for Elijah, who's actually John, playing roles. Hold on, just hold on. Okay. Which is a direct reference to the book of Malachi, as confirmed by the angel who announced John's birth to his father, Zechariah. Okay. So it says, according to the Gospel of Matthew, Jesus himself identifies John as Elijah who is to come, which is a direct reference to the book of Malachi. Malachi 4 and 5. We may have to go to that. As confirmed by the angel who announced John's birth to Father Zechariah. Now, I just told you that John and Jesus is the same character, but John is the precursor to the greater of himself that is coming. Now, oh, you scared me. So now, because his birth too was announced by an angel, but not to Joseph, to Zechariah, John's father. Why did the angel have to come and announce? Because they made a big deal that Jesus' life was announced by an oracle angel, but also, so was Buddha's, so was Krishna's, so was Zoroaster's, so was Gelko, so was and all of these characters that I'm naming you are the exact same avatar and character as your Jesus, just so you know. Okay, So if you go to Malachi 4 and 5, let me see if I can get over there real quick. 4 and 5. Let me see if it's gonna give it. It ain't. I would have to actually go. Okay, so let me just show you the picture that they got of John the Baptist. I don't know what he's pointing at, but he's showing somebody his legs. So let's go on a little bit. So his birth was confirmed by the angel announced John, as confirmed by the angel who announced John's birth to his father Zachariah. Don't know why he didn't announce it to his mama. She the one that was pregnant. But according to the Gospel of Luke, John and Jesus were relatives. That's interesting. Hey, ain't John, Mark, Luke, and Matthew, and then they all write the same book, just different accounts?
But how you got relatives?
They never talked about Mary or Joseph's family. We don't know what other family that they had. They may have had cousins and brothers and sisters. Unless God came, he had some old relatives. I don't know, but keep up. Okay. So, according to the Gospel of Luke, and gospel, let's look up what the word gospel means really quickly. Excuse me. The teaching or revelation of Christ, the record of Jesus' life and teaching in the first 4 books of the New Testament. Gospel, by definition, often capitalized, the message concerning Christ, the kingdom of God, and salvation. Does anybody call it gospel music? Because not all gospel music is talking about your Jesus Christ.
Oh, nor the first 4 books.
And ain't. One of the first 4 New Testament books telling of the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Election. Lection, from one of the New Testament Gospels, the message or teachings of a religious teacher, something accepted or promoted as infallible. You know what infallible means? Truth, or as a guiding principle or doctrine. So now they have told you that the gospel is truth and fact of a literal doctrine that they've told you is an allegory. You know what an allegory is, right? A made-up story. Okay. So according to the Gospel of Luke, John and Jesus were relatives. Some scholars maintain that John belonged to the Essenes, a semi-ascetic Jewish sect who expected a Messiah or practiced ritual baptism. You mean baptisms is a ritual, and when you are chanting, you know those are spells, incantations? You know that's when you write a prayer, what a prayer is, don't you? A prayer is an incantation. Let's look up the word. An incantation, a series of words said as a magic spell or charm. The use of words as a magic spell. What is the true meaning of incantation? A use of spells or verbal charms spoken or sung as a part of a ritual of magic. And what is a gospel song? What is a hymn? And let's look up what a prayer is then. It may be different. I don't know. Because I'm sure we got some prayer warriors. A solemn request for help or expression of thanks addressed to God or an object of worship. A religious service, specifically a regular one, at which people gather in order to pray together. An earnest hope or wish. So, what is a wish? I just don't want them to keep playing in everybody's face. That's how. A wish, feel or express a strong desire or hope for something that is not easily attainable. Want something that cannot or probably will not happen. Now, let's pause because let's go back to this one. Incantation, a series of words as a magic spell or charm. So, in order for your prayer to be answered, what has to happen?
You gotta pray first.
You got to pray, but when you pray, what are you hoping to achieve inside of that prayer? What has to happen for your prayer to be answered? Something magically and supernatural has to happen, isn't it? So it's an incantation. I just love how they try to mesh words and mix words. A belief, a partition. Is it different? No. Let's look up a chant. What is a chant? A chant, anybody, first of all, anybody in here grew up understanding that chants were bad and demonic?
They taught you that in school.
That you shouldn't chant because
Right.
chants are demonic, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna wait for y'all to answer to me. Okay. Lisa Ann said no. Okay. Kelly Day says yes. Okay. A repeated rhythmic phrase, typically one shouted or sung in unison by a crowd. So, okay. A short musical passage in two or more phrases used for singing unmetrical words. A psalm. Let's look that up. A psalm, a sacred song or hymn, in particular, any of those contained in the biblical book of Psalms and used in Christian or Jewish worship. A book or Bible of the Bible comprising a collection of religious verses sung or recited. Now, if you are unaware, Psalms is a book of spells. Let's go to Psalms.
We should do the most famous one. Is it Psalms?
91.
Yeah, one of them. Is it 31, 91?
91
Whatever the most
popped right up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Psalm 91 and 1. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in whom I trust. Surely He will save you from the fowler's snare and from the deadly pestilence. I'm sure there's a plenty of Antonios and Antoines who grew up in the church and still got killed and died from the prowlers and fowlers who was not saved by this. I ain't never seen nobody sing any of these because these are songs. These are chants. I've never seen anybody sing these as a hymn. The King James Version, Psalms 91. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in Him I will trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with His feathers. He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Who has feathers? Excuse me. Jesus is not an angel, but Lucifer was, although they are the same character. Who has wings? Because nobody has ever seen your God. Who has wings? Who they talking about? Somebody is going to cover you under their wings with their feathers. Who is? Because angels has, let's look that up. I don't mind. Hold on. We're going to go on back to it.
Feathers.
They said feathers.
That's what I see.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Let's see. Lucifer was a cherub. So Lucifer is a prominent figure in Judeo-Christian mythology who was once an angel in heaven but was driven out and became an adversary who rules over hell. The word Lucifer means morning star. Luciferes. According to Christian legend, Lucifer was the most senior and beautiful angel in God's heavenly court. He rebelled against God along with other corrupted angels because he wanted to be more powerful than God and be worshiped, not worship God. After a heavenly war, Lucifer and the other angels were banished from heaven and descended to hell, where Lucifer became the devil and the other angels became demons. Now, angels are messengers without free will. Were we not taught that? So they don't have free will, but they have a free will of thinking of what they want to be. They don't have, okay. However, the story of Lucifer's fall from grace is not told in the Bible in the way it's often told. For example, in Ezekiel, this is interesting. In Ezekiel 28, a passage that is widely thought to refer to Lucifer, he is called guardian cherub. You know who else is a cherub? Yehuda. He's the lion. You know what a cherub looks like? I've showed it to you. They be so mad about Simeon Yehuda, baby. They made a movie called The Lion King in which they had Mufasa, God. Then they put Scar, Lucifer. And then they had Simba, Simeon, baby Jesus. Mmm. 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 Because if it involves running, it doesn't involve me. I'm not going to be there. I'm not going. Okay. A guardian cherub. So let's go back. For example, in Ezekiel 28, a passage that is widely thought to refer to Lucifer, he is called guardian cherub. In Gnosticism, some sects identify Lucifer with the creator identity, with the creator deity in the Old Testament and in the Gospel of the Secret Supper. Lucifer is a glorified angel who fell from heaven to create a material world and trap souls from heaven in matter. Who else talked about that? Trapped souls. Where else did we see that at? Maybe I should put it in this form here so I can pull it up. Do you have a Bible?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Mm-mm. This paper is so weak.
It is. So it is, and it reads differently in different Bibles, of course. But when you go to Revelation 18 and 12, they talk about the different things that are being bought and sold. And it says cargoes of gold, silver, precious stones, and pearls, fine linen, purple, silk, and scarlet cloth, every sort of citron wood, and articles of every kind made of ivory, costly wood, bronze, iron, and marble. Now, it also says the souls of man. It does. It also says the souls of man. Go ahead and ask your question. Arteja. We've discussed that before. Here it says it. Cinnamon, spice, incense, myrrh, frankincense, wine, oil, fine flour, wheat, cattle and sheep, horses and chariots, and slaves, that is, human souls. Oh, yeah. And human beings sold as slaves. It says it in different ways. It definitely does. So now, we've talked about this in my Bible studies before. Okay. Now, I'm just stating what it says because way back to Lucifer. Now, cherub. During my Bible study, this is what this says, cherub. During my Bible study, I learned that Lucifer was a perfectly beautiful cherub. Before he rebelled and was thrown out of heaven, Ezekiel 28:14, NIV, and changed his name to Satan. The word Satan, by definition, means adversary. Okay. Let me open up one more tab. So now, what is a cherub? A winged angelic being described in biblical tradition as attending on God. It is represented in ancient Middle Eastern art as a lion or bull with eagle wings and a human face. That's a cherub, and that is also a cherubim. That's the definition of cherub. Now, they will also depict the cherub as a little cute fat baby named Cupid that will do what? Shoot you through the heart. Shot through the heart, and you're to blame. You give love a bad name. Now, I'm going to pull up a definition of cherubim. Because I want you to know it is the same thing. Cherubims are a type of angel that appear in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. The word cherubim is the plural of cherub, just so we're aware, okay? And the name may come from the, I don't know how to pronounce that, Akkadian language of ancient Iraq and means one who blesses, okay? So they are a lion and a bull. Now, the most prominent that you see everywhere is the mighty oxen, which is a bull or minotaur. The other one that you will also see everywhere in your space of existence is a lion. But they're not going to tell you why, because they have now taken a human face of a genome, their Jesus character, and then they told you, well, he's the sheep and he's the lion. He's also the sheep herder. However, when you are looking at a cherub, it looks like a human, a fowl, a lion, and an oxen, which is a bull or a minotaur. Now, why is that important? Because they have taken the cherub, which is really the lion. Because if you really look it up, you'll see the lion everywhere. Then they will show you pictures of all of the deities, which people say, Quatita's crazy. She got y'all over there worshiping lion, tigers, and bears. Oh my. Oh my. Because it's in your Bible. And it's usually the Bible thumpers that want to come for my neck and say it. It's in your Bible. So these people have taken it and made it into they've taken our Baphomet and created their own Baphomet. They have taken their, what is their deity name, their entity? It starts with an M. Ma something. Mother Diener had addressed it before and made it Baphomet, which has taken all of our deities and deity parts and made it one being, calling it the Baphomet. Moloch, gratitude. Now I'm going to pull up a supposed picture of Moloch. How do we spell it? Okay, yeah. Let's see. Moloch. Now they have told you that, remember, they had the golden calf that, who was it, Moses destroyed. They told you it was Baphomet, but Baphomet is part of a cherub. This is Moloch, their underground entity that slaughters children like King Herod.
Make it make sense.
Has a fish mouth, has horns, wings. Hmm. Mm. This depiction has it surrounded by fire. You know why they say he slaughtered witches? Because a witch is something great to be. A queen is what you don't want to be.
Mm-hmm. Which is why they're pushing the narrative.
I hope I'm a witch. I don't want to be a queen. Gratitude. So now I'm going to pull up the picture of their Baphomet. This is not our Baphomet. People like, she be worshiping Baphomet. I don't worship anything, but I love them because I understand who they are. Now, this is their Baphomet. This is their Moloch. Their children, you see it? Now, why? Look at the hand symbols. That is the grandmother. Now, you will see me do it. Because she is above and below. She is all things, but they have taken it. They are thieves. They have taken it and they use it for their benefit. I want you to look at his belt buckle. You see the double-headed snake, right? The Kundalini energy. But I want you to also tell me, what also does that look like sitting in the middle of there? You got his staff, right? He has reptilian, he has wings, he has a goat head, a physical body, but that's breasts on there, right? A staff, right? Okay. You got to really look at the shit. They have used all of our deities after they have told you that they don't exist. They have made you start to worship the Ankh, which is just another cross, but they have told you that no, that is the representation of the mother, the child, and the father. It's the representation of the womb. It is an upside down noose. They have you in a chokehold. If you don't believe me when I say that those are breasts, now they have taken all of our deities because this is Bohemian Grove where they do their ceremonies in front of the owl. The owl is ether, that is etheria. So they are using ether inside of their rituals. They're not confused, but you are. They have now taken Ottawa and used it how they please. She's the eagle, the legal eagle. She's all over their money. That's etheria. Now hold on. Here's the eagle. That's etheria. They have the owl, etheria, hidden in the money, the dollar bills, because it's ether. It carries energy. It keeps you bounded because it's using energy. Soul and spirit told me today, y'all don't understand how they keep you in a trance, because when you see certain things and you see crimes and you don't acknowledge it, you're okay with it. You're giving them the permission. When you are chanting and using their spells and their concoctions, you don't even know what it is that you're doing. Like, so then the dollar bill, right? This is the legal eagle. It's on all of there's you go in a courtroom, you're going to see it. That's Ottawa. You know what I'm saying? So just thought I would give y'all just some things to think about. I'm going to go ahead and get ready for my session here. I got another one here. So I just thought we would go into a little something. I'm trying to get back here in a minute and do some readings, but real quick, let's go into one more of this one. So, by definition, what does a chant mean spiritually? It is used in spiritual practice to strengthen community, heal illnesses, and overcome psychological and emotional difficulties. In many traditions, chanting is used to induce mystical states, an altered state of consciousness characterized by a profound sense of peace. They don't want you to know that, because if you knew that, you would use chants in your greatness. Instead, they have given you music because they told you that Lucifer was over music. Music is what I just told you. They're chants put together. So then when I tell you to take those chants such as King Von and all of these other people, Lil Boosie and all of these people who come in with the chants, because that's what rap is. That's what music is. They're chants put together by a frequency of binaural beats that you call music. And people are like, well, they're putting energy in it. Yeah, but you are an energy-based being, and you have the ability to transform and transmute that very energy because please don't think that it ain't in Mary Mary's music. It is not in the gospel music. It's in the gospel music. Because why is this important? Because no matter what, you're chanting to the same entity, the Molochs and all of this. because your Jesus is also your Lucifer. As below, so above, as below. What do you think that means? So the Jesus is above and the Satan is below. That's what they taught you. So as above, so below. It means it's the same fucking character, bro. And so if you're looking and you're listening to secular music and then the gospel music, it's still the same music because it's the same character being worshiped no matter what music you're listening to. So it depends on how you see it, how you go about it, what do you feel like. I'm just giving you what I know to be truth. But you're very welcome to do what you want. Just thought I'd share something with you. Anyway, solitude de wa. I show gratitude to the soul and to the spirit. Solitude de shishi el manti. Listen, get your mind right. I'll try to come back on in a minute and give some lives. Make sure you donate and hit the collection plate. Okay, just let me put that up there for you so you know it's all right to donate if you choose to. This has been fun.
Learn something.
Okay, I love y'all to life.